Bali High in Mangere. Yeah, it was Bali High. And then Papa Paul, Pablo and them, Willie Dean, and Tangaro Owen on drums, yeah. And he was coming there all the time. He was coming, so it wasn't far from where I live. I live in Mangere, and that club was right there, Bali High. So that's where we first met. And I left him there, and I come over here. Because when I left here, boys came here, and I left him here, and I went back to New Zealand. And then they all flew over to New Zealand and to be with me. And except for one guy, the lead singer Pange, he went all the way to Australia. He was looking for his wife. He got it, but they're back together now, so it's all good. But that was the breakup of the Sunset, yeah. But Pang has gone the other way. He went into Sumaringa, right? Where the boys from Sydney, and then they came and recorded Papa No in the Bermuda studio in those days, and he was in it. So the plan was he come to me, and then we're gonna do the Sunset at that time. But he ended up in the Sumaringa, so I just left it alone because they just recorded. I've already recorded 2 albums, and I'm on my 3rd one, So I didn't bother back in making the Sunset, so I just carried on Baba No, So the idea of the song was here already. I've been practicing what I put together, but I didn't actually finish the chorus line. It was there, but I didn't know whether to, I had no idea whether to, to put it in the way it is now. But it was Papa No that said to me, hey, so I went up to him and said, look at this, I don't know, what am I going to do with the piece over here? He said, just keep repeating it, you just repeat that Raymond part into that bluesy thing, yeah? So that's how we got that Raymond piece in there, because he suggested, Papa No suggested that idea, that arrangement. And then we did it because, for me, the song itself, all that, all those funny sounds I'm making in there, it's sort of, I didn't think it was gonna work, but Papa No knew it was gonna work. I didn't even want that song in the album, but we said, no, we're gonna leave it. We'll see how this time goes. Well, Raymond is actually, the song is based around my missus, my girlfriend at the time, back in New Zealand. But the tune I captured is from here when I used to play some blues music there, blues sound. So I just had that idea. I gotta, do that kind of sound, that kind of feel. But whether it's gonna work, because I'm coming in with the blues feel, and I don't know whether the Cook Island music is ready to hear, to listen to blues ukulele, blues music with the ukulele, and I didn't know that. But because Papa No's recorded some other people before I came over. I think, because at the time there was Melissa. It was me and Melissa over there. Yeah. Yes. After Melissa, then Papa No recorded the Blue Highway. It was during that time was the making of the sound, yeah? I didn't make the sound. Papa No made the sound. As a matter of fact, he actually played on that album, those uke that's going on. He's the one that was playing it, So the style and the feeling of the music was good for me, because I could throw in what I could throw in, what that Papa Alex I could do, and I could throw it. But the song, remember the song here. Yeah, it probably wouldn't have worked the way I had it in mind, but with, Papa No gave the idea, said, okay, well, it's a blues song, so we just keep those 8-bar blues thing going in the chorus there. So that's how it all came around, that one song. But after that, I wrote a few, and it came in the same album. Like Heimana, and there's a few others in there that I wrote. I didn't know the Cook Island music, the Cook Island flavor is gonna make my situation, what do you call it? Groovy. Yeah, made it, it's making it happen for me, yeah. Without Papa No, there's no Cook Island music. And like I said before, me and Melissa was there during the phase of his beginning of the recording, yeah. So Melissa just one time was here and she came over to do her album, and I'm the second album to go in, yeah. And without him producing those music with me and Melissa and all those guys in the beginning, there wouldn't be any Cook Island music. But I mean, I know him, he's been in the Cook Island music for a long time, but he was recording. He goes to Tahiti and record the Tahitians, guys like Alphonse will get him to do all the work for them, I still very much at the time, studio at the time. There was me and there's Melissa, and then after that there's Kuku, there's Kusia, Then after that, it was the whole lot of whoever the musos are now that have been, through the trip with Papa No, they wouldn't have got there without Papa No recording them. Right? They had ideas, but they had nobody that knows something about, recording the Cook Island music. So they had to come to him, one by one. I guess because when he did my first album and all of them heard the album, heard the songs on the album, and that sort of probably dragged themselves into that thought that they better come this way. They better come to Papa No. If they need to get into that Cook Island music, because we just began that whole setup, me and him. And so before I know it, Papa No's got so much happening, and he's got, a few others, one after the other, with Apiti and the Kaima Express. And during those days, there's all these young fellas like, Jerome and them, the Dream Lovers. Without Papa No, the Cook Island music won't get nowhere, So I stayed with him because I believed in that Cook Island music, I believed in our music going somewhere, not just be sung here and stayed here. So I believe that. So that's why I took the travel back home to New Zealand and to meet up with him to create something that is ours, but musically, we need to find a way to go in there. But Papa No had it all. He had all the idea to, he was using all the top music that the Cook Island had. You got George Upu, and there you got Pavo Dean. But the first album, Papa No played that. After that, Chuck and them filled in. The thing back then, that whether this ukulele, sound is gonna make its way up to the top, I didn't think of that. But somehow Papa No managed to get that flavor in there, and all I had to do is sing. The music was already done, I just gotta sing it, feel it, So, and that's what happened, and that's what we did. We've conquered New Zealand, so, the places we went to. So really, because that one song and that music is all, it found its way into New York, and found its way to wherever. Yeah, it's in Korea. It's all in these other countries that I didn't realize that, they'll be interested to listen to our music, but they did. What happened is, and after a while, and those days, I don't follow but then somehow the million viewers was happening without me knowing that, but it was happening. Papa Noah would have been the only person that thought of Kukata music to get somewhere.